Hello, Capricorn. Welcome back to Marion K Tarot. This is going to be a reading for a general reading for you. Sun, Moon, Ascendant, whatever you feel like. And it's going to be for April 2025. Now, first of all, we are going to pick a card from the Sacred Connection Oracle, and it's going to be the love deck of them, right? So we've got love, friendship, and self. So I felt like I needed to pull this one. I don't know why, but anyway. So let's have a look and see what we got. Okay, so this one here. Right, so here's the message. Do you believe there is a higher purpose of us coming together? And what do you think that is? Okay, so think about this for a second, Capricorn, and the first person that comes into your head is probably the person it's meant to be, right? I don't mean you're meant to be with, I just mean that the message is about, and there's maybe some excavation needs to be done regarding this relationship, situationship, whatever it is, okay? And then we're going to use the Crow Tarot for the main reading. And I love these wee astro cards that I'm using, just really to help me more than anything else, so that I know when I'm uploading the videos what video is what. But it says here persistence. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can. It says persistence, and that's what I love about Capricorns. You know, you've got this inherent persistence. You know, it's not. I think people maybe call it stubborn, but it's persistence. And it's knowing what your goal is and pursuing it with dogged persistence. And that's what it is. And that's how you achieve things, Capricorn. That's how you get things done. And incidentally, it was a Capricorn that gave me that deck very kindly. And it's Sarah for Tarot by Peachy. So if you want a new tarot deck, go and check her out. Tarot by Peachy. So, let's see what we got for Capricorn. For April 2025. We have got the Knight of Cups, the Two of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. Ooh. And the energy at the bottom of the deck is we have got the Ten of Swords. Ouch. We don't love to see the Ten of Swords. I mean, nobody really does like to see the Ten of Swords. However, we're going to workshop it together, Capricorn, right? This is what we're going to do. Now, because of the imagery with the Ten of Swords, most people avoid it. They don't like to look at it. They don't like to look at the pain. And I think that's the main thing, It's very clearly shows that this crow, has been stabbed 10 times with 10 separate swords. And, in the traditional Waite Smith version, there's the 10 swords in the person's back. And it feels... It feels like the end is only the beginning. It does feel very cyclical, like, well, it could be a bit of a cliche, isn't it? Because, well, I mean, it's Aries season, so of course there's going to be new starts, Capricorn, and I can hear you rolling your eyes. Ugh, please, Marion. Okay, but it does feel like that, It feels like whatever has been going on, whatever's maybe happened in the last year up until this point, or the last 6 months, the last 3 months, it feels as if you're finally getting a reprieve from it, you know. And again, it could go back to that whole thing where Pluto has moved out of your sign, you know, and it's moving away, you know, every day it's inching microscopically further away, but it is moving away. And I think, you know, that is, I think there's just that you're still possibly, for some of you, you're still possibly in that kind of recovery period whereby it's like, right, okay, so when are things going to feel better? Pluto's left now. You know, Pluto's left this part of my life, this part of my chart. When are things going to start improving? And I think, you know, with the Knight of Cups there, there's this emotional emotional dissidence um that's really kind of a came through, and it's like now you're very gently maybe starting to permit yourself to feel the feelings again, Capricorn. You know, there could have been, after a period of emotional numbness, that's what I'm picking up on, you know, and maybe some of you are still in that place, you know. There is that, it's just like you're going through the motions almost, but over the month of April, it feels like, you know, there's going to be this kind of an emotional journey. Now, whether that coincides with an actual physical journey or, as I say, just strictly emotional, metaphorically, you know, this journey of moving forward, because the directionality here of this Knight of Cups, you know, the horse and the crow, they are facing away. They're facing away from this, whatever this Ten of Swords moment was. And the Ten of Swords moment could be, it could have been the culmination of something. It could have happened in October, or it could have happened 10 months ago. Whereby, you know, something just really, it it was really difficult, you know, and it was just, and it literally cut you open, you know. You felt like you were cut open by this, and it's like this very gentle energy is coming forth now. And this Knight of Cups with this emotional journey. And the Two of Wands, you know, speaks to that as well. It speaks to this planning. It speaks to where Neptune is right now. Neptune has moved into Aries, and it's feeling like, right, I am moving forward whether I want to or not. I am moving forward gently. And this now here, you know, this Two of Wands presents me with this, you know, this kind of forward motion to continually forward, like move forward. The Two of Wands is Mars and Aries. Okay, it's very dynamic energy. And it might be a bit more dynamic than what you're used to, Capricorn. Okay. But essentially it's the kick up the backside that you need. Okay. That's what it feels like. It's like you're all of a sudden, it's like this kind of you're allowing the floodgates to open, okay, for the emotions to come through. And whether that is going to be something incredibly loud, or whether it's going to be something that's just a gentle stream. It could be a huge torrent and tsunami, or it could be just a gentle stream. And I really hope it is a gentle stream, or somewhere in the middle, Capricorn, because to have that rush of emotions isn't always the best thing. But again, remember about your secret. Well, what many people forget about you, Capricorn, is it's like you're the water goat. So you have that affinity with water that people kind of, I think sometimes people sort of ignore when it comes to your sign, you know. There is deep emotions within you, you know. There's deep, it can be deep hidden emotions, but you know, given April is offering you this opportunity to express the emotions. Now, where does the Queen of Swords come in, right? So the Queen of Swords is, for me, is about tough love, okay? The Queen of Swords is my ultimate favourite card in the deck, okay? I adore the Queen of Swords. She is wonderful. And she's, even though she's associated with the sign of Libra, she feels quite Capricornian as well, you know? It's like that sort of that, right, come on, we're going to be fine. You know, we're just going to be absolutely fine. And it's like, if the Queen of Swords was, if the Queen of Swords is Libra, then perhaps she's got a Capricorn ascendant. Do you know what I mean when I say that? There's this unflappability towards her. This sort of a no nonsense, let's get the job done quality to her. She doesn't simper and sigh, you know, and like kind of a cry into her handkerchief like maybe some of the other more emotional queens would maybe do. She's very much the right. Let's see, where are we going for here? Right, this has happened, such and such has happened. We're going to go on with things now. We're not going to ignore what happened. We're going to acknowledge it, but at the same time, we are realizing to ourselves that it is time to move on. You know, it is time to move on from what was, but is taking that momentum that has kind of transmuted in the Two of Wands, and this is the next stage of the journey, you know, and it feels like, you know, what it's like is it's like that crow and that crow here, you know, it's like the crow for the Knight of Cups has came to the Two of Wands and got the message, and then has relayed it back to the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords has then sent them off again, you know, to fulfill the next part of the journey. And I feel like that's what she's doing for you, right? She's pointing in the direction that you have to go, Capricorn. If you've been feeling a wee bit lost, you know, and you've been unsure about what direction to go, take this as a sign, right, that the Queen of Swords is going to show up and is going to say, maybe you're going to meet somebody who is quite assertive. Now, when I say queen, it can be male, female, or any gender. Do you know what I mean? It's not gender specific, it's an energy. So somebody who is assertive, but somebody who's assertive with compassion, you know, and you could be having a conversation with them and they'll be like, right, okay, why don't you do X, Y, and Z? You know, why don't you consider this? Or I've seen somebody doing X, Y, and Z. Could you, you know, build that into whatever you're doing in your life, Capricorn, you know? So it's like, take it like that, but there's somebody going to come in who will offer you practical assistance, but you know, pointing in the right direction. The suggestion for what direction is coming. You know, it's like you, if you've maybe said, right, I don't know where to go now, you know, and you're ready to work, because you're always ready to work, Capricorn. You're one of the hardest working signs of the zodiac, you know, and that's where you find a lot of solace and a lot of comfort. You know, you're one of the, you tend to be one of the people, if somebody's got like strong Capricorn placements, they'll be like, right, okay, there's something going on in my life and I don't want to deal with it right now. Let's throw myself into my work, you know. And the problem comes with that is when it is your work that is causing the uncertainty, that is causing the drama, that is causing the, oh my God, I don't know what to do. That is where the problems come, because that's like your safe space. You know, a lot of Capricorns, they find that the safe space is the work. You know, whatever work it is you're doing. It could be that you decide that there's personal work to do, that there is emotional work to do, that there is something within you that needs to be like repurposed. Okay, So do you believe there is a higher purpose of us coming together? Maybe that Queen of Swords person is somebody who is going to just come into your life, and what do you think it is? Why has that person come into your life? Why now? What is their role? What is the role that they've got to play in your development and in your life, Capricorn? There is exciting times ahead. Please do not feel like it is doom and gloom. There is always light to be had. And I think that there's a feeling of optimism. There's a feeling of quiet optimism around these cards and around the month of April for you, darlings. Okay, so just take good care, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye, Capricorn.